We've been following the court cases connected to the Capitol riots very closely for you. And here's the headline this evening. We have learned a special agent for the DEA, the Drug Enforcement Agency, is now facing criminal charges for his role on January 6th. Our chief investigative reporter, Eric Flack, is here with more on this case. This is a big one, E.
Yeah, we had heard of other law enforcement agencies or those representing them being down there, not the DEA until tonight, and the government says they have the photos to prove it. In court documents unsealed this afternoon, the Department of Justice says Mark Ibrahim, a special agent with the Drug Enforcement Administration, can be seen in multiple pictures around the Capitol showing off his DEA badge and firearm as rioters storm the Capitol building behind him. He's facing 4 criminal counts, 3 of them felonies, including remaining in a restricted grounds with a deadly weapon, then lying about it when questioned by federal investigators, telling them in interviews, quote, "I had my creds, I had my firearm and my badge on me, but never exposed. Not that I know of." It appears Ibrahim had not been with the DEA long. The DOJ says he was a probationary employee who had already given notice of his intention to resign weeks before January 6th and was on personal leave from the DEA when he traveled to Washington from Triangle, Virginia, near Quantico. Prosecutors say Ibrahim, who had been participating in a WhatsApp group chat with at least 5 other law enforcement officers, posted photos of himself all around the Capitol, including next to one of the bicycle-style barricades that had been pulled apart by the crowd and one standing on the Peace Monument on the Capitol grounds, which is also a crime. We reached out to the DEA for comment, but we have not heard back. Now, coming up tonight at 11, her death at the hands of a Capitol police officer January 6th was the bloodiest moment during a violent insurrection in the seat of American democracy. But Ashley Babbitt's name lives on, and some would argue it's being used in a way that is only further dividing our politics, our people, and our nation.
But what's important to highlight here is that the glorification of Ashley Babbitt and her death is not actually about her. It's about the narrative.
There was no need to shoot her. It's a simple situation where all it would take would any rookie police officer with a set of handcuffs could have taken her into custody.
Our WUSA 9 special assignment report, Capitol Riots, A Martyr is Born, airs tonight at 11 right here on WUSA 9.